People, Deluded, I'm back again. I really hope my battery don't die. I've just made another video and I thought let me do this one again. I was gonna wait till I go home, but I'm in my lunch break. You lot know I waste my lunch breaks making videos because I love you guys, but we might as well speak about Martinelli if the wind will allow me, people. Now I'm not too sure if you'll be able to see this, and admittedly I'm doing it with one hand, people, so you're gonna have to forgive me. My handwriting is terrible, as you know. Let me flip the page. Now for me, Martinelli's future is going to be an interesting one, because for me, he's shown he can be an out-and-out number 9. He's actually shown elements that different but similar to Firmino. He can be that sort of false 9 that gets goals. He can obviously play on the flanks. Now if we exclude the fact that he can play on the flanks, people, and look at him as a striker, while he can get experience in both areas and whatnot, you have to wonder, what does his future mean for Eddie Nkietah? Now in an ideal world, with Aubameyang and Lacazette being 30 and I believe 28 respectively, with their contracts being up very soon, and at this moment in time they haven't signed contracts, one if not both may be moved on if they don't commit their futures this summer. A lot of that will rely on the top 4. I don't expect Eddie and Martinelli to be able to share the burden of Lacazette and Aubameyang in terms of goals, because they're not them players today. But you'd expect that we need, at least, if we're not going to, we probably have to bring in a striker. But if not, you'd exclude Martinelli. You'd think either Eddie Nkietah, Tyrese John-Jules, who I'm a massive fan of, and young Balogun, who's sadly injured at the moment. 2 out of the 3 got to step up and whatnot. Obviously there's Greenwood as well, but I believe Greenwood's different because he can play on the either flank. He can play as a 10 as well as up front, so he can develop into other roles. So I'm trying to focus on man that I see as out and out strikers, although Tyrese does have other abilities. Now if we were to be cynical and we were to say Aubameyang leaves or Lacazette leaves or both leave, we bring in a striker that's going to get 20 league goals and whatnot, Martinelli would probably be second in choice, to which would Eddie stay and be part of the squad, or would he want to be moved on? I'm not saying Eddie or any of the young strikers would be jealous, but considering Martinelli, he was seen as a winger as well as can play up front. He's come, he scored 7 in 7. He's only got 45 minutes in the Prem as well, which is shameful. But he seems to be the hot kid on the block, and I wonder if Eddie thinks, yo, that position could have been mine. I'm not playing at Leeds now. Did I make the right decision? Now Eddie needs to keep his head strong. Eddie needs to remember everybody's situation and development path is different. Eddie needs to remember whether he plays at Leeds or not, it will make him stronger. I'm not saying he's thinking like this, but yeah, it does make me think, because we all know it's going to be different for one of, if not 2 of Tyrese, Balogun, Eddie, to come through. But I do believe we've got to bring through 2 of them, man. I do believe Tyrese John-Jules can eventually step up and be someone in the squad of some ability. I think Eddie's shown he can score goals, and hopefully he can replicate it and get an opportunity. I feel Balogun the same, and I feel Sam Greenwood probably needs to make himself a regular in terms of the 23s, but I believe in that young man's ability. It's naive to believe everybody's going to make it, but it does make me wonder, like, how much of Martinelli's development in terms of playing up front has it complicated things? Because if we look at it, people, again, I did this in my break and my handwriting is terrible, but I don't know if you lot can see too good, but I've done arrows. Now in an ideal world, yes, we'd like to have options on the flanks as well as options up front, innit? So you've got Aubameyang and Lacazette, whether they're going to retire or not, but you've got Aubameyang, Lacazette, Eddie, Martinelli, Tyrese, Balogun. In an ideal world, you'd like 2 elite strikers, whether Martinelli and another guy can step up, or a new striker, or Eddie and Martinelli do that. They're in that role, people. That will give us the option of playing 2 strikers, or bringing one off the bench, because a 38-game period is long. And then obviously you want to get into the position with young Xhaka and Martinelli on the flanks. I can't move my fingers, people, to this side. Or on the right-hand side with Pepe. You want that depth. For me, you want 2 out-and-out good number 9s, people. Obviously, one would probably be the more senior man. Like, if we were being cynical, I know Lacazette's got qualities that are different to Aubameyang's, but in terms of goal scoring, Aubameyang will probably be the top dog. Lacazette is your plan B/support man, and then you've got the 2 flanks. So we've got to look to, what I'm getting at really is looking to either allowing Martinelli and Eddie and Tyrese or whoever's got the ability to take over the mantelpiece from Lacazette and Aubameyang, or we've got to bring people in. So let's just say we bring in another striker and it's Martinelli. What does that mean for Eddie and the rest of them? Now this is football, you have to show what you can do, and I do think all of them are going to have good careers, but it's crazy, people. And Martinelli, I knew the least about him, but just by looking at him, I wouldn't say it's surprising that he's taken to this level, but when you look at his history, is it surprising? Because he made his debut in Brazil at 16, formerly of Corinthians, then because his dad had to move, went to Etano. 17 appearances for Etano. Not sure of the competition, but he played a decent role in helping them get to the quarterfinals of a cup. I do believe he won a couple of awards in, I do believe he won a couple of awards in Brazil, like young player in, not the Brazilian league, but there was one respective couple of awards I saw on his Wikipedia page, because Transfermarkt weren't working, that he's won a couple of youth awards. So can we really underestimate that experience, people? He's only been exposed to 45 minutes in the Prem, and Joe's played a lot of games, decent and level games for the youth now, well, for first team at Arsenal, but relatively, if you look at it, based on this information, surely Martinelli is one of the most experienced players, and he was exposed at least to first team football, excluding Nelson, who went out on loan to Hoffenheim last year, but Nelson never made his debut at 16. Do you get where I'm going? Joe's got experience in cup games and whatnot, but was it necessarily in the conditions that Martinelli had to help his team get to the quarterfinals and whatnot? So you can't really discount the experience, and I think we've got to take our time with Martinelli. It's not the end of the world if he doesn't play against Wolves, but I'd love him to start, because same way I believe XHAKA earned his spot and had his little spell in the team, I feel Martinelli is. I believe in seniority in the side and things like that clearly, and I don't want to put too much pressure on Martinelli, because if Aubameyang and Laka got injured, I don't know if he'll be able to carry on the mantelpiece, and the same fans gassing him will be the same fans that have already turned on Saka to a degree because he's had iffy games. They will have iffy games, but I believe squad positions are earned on merit, and I believe Martinelli in the opportunities, there's not more you can demand of him. The only thing he's got wrong is obviously conceding that penalty against Liverpool, and to be honest, it's a mistake, but we can allow him because he's been decent. He's got 7 in 7. He's one of the highest ranking goal scorers in Arsenal's side, excluding Lacazette and Aubameyang, and in Europe. And if he was another teenager at a different club in different situations, people would be saying other things. And for me, Martinelli and Guendouzi, good signings, man. I know Guendouzi was last season, but it shows there are gems out there if you look, people. I'm not saying you can find a gem, I'm not saying to only find gems, but with our current model, we've got to get players like that. And to be honest, they've been two of the bright sparks this season, in which has been a bit of an underwhelming season based on the first 10 games. But I've got nothing more to add, people. I've been here mashing it. I'm very hungry. I'm going to go get some Mexican this Friday. Hopefully I've given you some decent content, people. Deluded, I'm out. Thank you for your support as usual. I'm seeing my subscriber rate rise, and I really appreciate that. Keep going crazy, keep getting in the comments, keep liking, keep sharing. DG Nation, stay safe, man. I'm out.